On JoyNews Prime, some 20 children feared drowned at a Palm Beach. We'll be bringing you the very latest on the rescue operation. Also in the bulletin, government announces 300,000 people have so far been vaccinated against COVID-19. Ghana Grid Company attributes Sunday's nationwide power outage to a fault on one of its major transmission lines, insisting there is enough generation capacity. But a former director of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission believes there are systemic challenges the players are not being honest about.
I think that some form of communication should be going out there. We deserve to know. We deserve to know what is going on. If you are having challenges, you should let us know.
In business, as part of the International Women's Day celebration, we highlight 35-year-old Nana Poma Antipem, who quit her white-collar job, lucrative white-collar job, to venture into animal farming. And the feminine accessories which some men find so irresistible on women, they say it is to die for, literally.
If a lady has beads around his hips, and it makes her so nice and attractive. The way I like the beads, I would say almost half of my pay I used to buy beads.
My name is Israel, and JoyNews Prime is coming to you live from our Fanofa studios at Kokomilimi here in Accra, on your digital terrestrial TV, because we are free to air, and also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. This is the home of independent, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in. Now, first story, some 20 unidentified children are feared dead after going swimming at the Palm Beach in the central region on Monday. The incident is said to have thrown the entire town into a state of shock and mourning, according to regional correspondent Richard Kojo-Nyakun, who has visited the area. We'll be speaking with him in a bit. But here is Member of Parliament for the area, Richard Jan Mensah.
I believe the police is the enforcing agency. About 2 weeks ago, I visited one of the beaches. I saw a lot of youthful guys, the youth at the beach swimming. So I called their attention. And even people within the area confirmed, that some of them confirmed that even just that day, there was a report, there was actually an announcement from the community through the announcement from the police commander, which was made to the people that nobody should go to the beach, should be seen at the beach, especially for on Sundays, because now they have something they call the Sunday beaches or Sunday special. So there's a ban on that. And I also called attention. I came to the next community and I was informed that such announcements have been made again. So as it stands now, I didn't expect that anyone will go to the beach, because after what I saw about 2 weeks ago, the announcement was made. Last week, nobody went to the beach. So this week, we're also not expecting anyone to also be at the beach. But unfortunately, we only woke up this morning to hear that some youths organize themselves. So the immediate measure is that we're actually teaming up with the police and also with the fishermen, that a local task force should be put in place immediately to man our beaches, to ensure that people who will be seen at the beach are people who are purely fishermen who are going to plow their trade, but not people who are going to revelers who are going there to have fun. Exactly that one, we are going to make sure that it's going to be enforced.
Is there any update?
DC for the area, Bismarck Inkum, is promising some tough action on restricting access to the beach area.
Retrieved 14, of which 3 of them are alive. 11 of them, unfortunately, have lost their lives. It's an unpleasant incident that took place yesterday in the evening. God being so good, we've been able to retrieve much of the body. In fact, when we had a conversation with those who were saved, our understanding is that they numbered about between 15 and 20. So if we have retrieved 14, then we are still expecting that 1 or 2 are still. But so far, we haven't had family members, relatives coming to claim that there is anybody who is also missing. So we assume that for the 14 bodies that have been retrieved, that should be all. Otherwise, we expect more. We have put measures in place. The families are eager to get hold of the dead bodies in order to give them a befitting burial. But we are also of the opinion that the laws of the land must be followed. And so, according to the police, they will have to go to court for a coroner inquest tomorrow, followed by an autopsy, after which the bodies will be released to the respective families. So, for which reason, we have also approached the mortuary, make the necessary financial arrangement to ensure that they take care of the bodies before they are released tomorrow. That is what we have done so far. Is there any advice?
Now, correspondent Richard Kodunyaku joins us via Zoom with the very latest. Richard, what more do we know about this case?
Well, so Israel, these are teenagers who went swimming on Sunday, and then word came out that some were drowning. We do not know what occasion that was. That is why they went to that particular beach, and so a search party was put in place, and these they retrieved 3 persons, and so they managed to rescue them, and currently these persons are at Palm District Hospital. But the search party went deep into the night, and this morning they retrieved 12 bodies. So 12 bodies have been confirmed, and then they are at the Palm morgue. But when this incident happened, the entire community was thrown into a state of mourning. They were eager and wanted their bodies so that they could go and bury them. These teenagers, their age range 14 to 17, and the police say that some of them have been able to come, some of their relatives have been able to come to identify the bodies of these victims. Others are yet to also come. But now other people are also reading some superstition into what has happened. They say that where the children went there, it is a place that they have closed down as a result of the COVID-19, and so they were not expected to go there. But where they went to swim, there is a god. This is an account by the chief fisherman of the area. There is a god there, and so these kids might have been killed by the gods. So they feel that they went to do certain things, certain untoward things at that particular specific part of the beach, hence what has befallen them. And so that is really the latest. The search party is on because they believe that a lot more people are unaccounted for.
All right. Now, Richard, it's quite odd, though, that all the children, is it that some of the children managed to flee the area or come out of the water, or all the children who went there are feared to have drowned?
Well, there were some who did not get drowned. They left the place, and then there were only three persons were rescued in that rescue mission that took place on Sunday. But apart from that, they suspect that there were the children that got drowned were about 20. And so if 12 of them, the bodies have been retrieved, then it means that there are more of them in the sea that they should be looking for.
And again, it's quite odd that such a huge number of persons will be drowned, because usually you would hear maybe 2 or 3 people drowning, but quite a number like this it's quite odd, unless this happens in that area.
Well, so this was just like an organized, a planned thing by the children, because for all of them to have gone to that particular place at that particular point in time, you know, that place was prohibited because they do not allow people to get as a result, you know, the announcement of the beach closures, and so they were not expected to be there in the first place. So for such a number to have gone there, then it means that it was something that was calculated, planned, organized. And so many suspect that the community folk knew that the kids were there and they did not warn them or did not say anything. But others feel that, well, they use a certain pathway that the people did not suspect that these people were there. So it was someone who raised an alarm and who alerted the police that this is what is going on. And so the police came there, and then the rescue operation began.
All right, thank you very much, Richard Kojo Nyako, bringing us that update there from on the Palm Beach tragedy. As it is, we're fearing that about 20 people may have drowned, all of them, or most of them, teenagers. The Ghana Grid Company Limited has denied suggestions the state's indebtedness to private power sector electricity generating companies is to blame for the recent power outages being experienced in parts of the country. The latest is a system shut down on Sunday afternoon that affected the whole country. Former Deputy Power Minister John Jinapor has blamed it on the indebtedness of Gridco and other allied agencies. He says Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee will probe the situation, which he believes is evidence of government's mismanagement of the sector.
From what I have gathered, the power sector is reeling under serious financial challenges. ECG's maintenance has been a very, very difficult one because they simply cannot pay their contractors. They are hugely indebted. Gridco went almost financially bankrupt. Indeed, some of their projects, especially the new lines that they were constructing, had to be suspended. Why are we having such huge debt? The fact is that when you look at ECG's balance sheet, they've moved from a profit level somewhere in 2016 to a loss-making entity of over 4 billion. Such a company cannot survive. I'm confident that the Mines and Energy Committee will be inviting the minister, will be inviting ECG, will be inviting all the stakeholders within the energy sector and the value chain in order to ascertain the fact.
Gridco, however, attributes the system shutdown to a technical fault on one of its major transmission lines between Prestia in the western region and Obuasi in the Ashanti region, explaining the system was eventually restored at 6:30 p.m. Sunday. It insists the country has enough generating capacity, and I'll bring you that statement in a bit with Gridco explaining. So it says Ghana Grid Company Limited wishes to inform the general public that the total power system shutdown experienced at 2:10 p.m. on Sunday, March 7, was due to a technical fault on one of the major transmission lines between Prestia and Obuasi. This situation led to overloads on other adjacent transmission lines, leading to a sequence of trips and an eventual power system shutdown in the country. Restoration works by the technical team began immediately, and power supply was restored to all bulk supply points at 6:30 p.m. that same day. Gridco is assuring all Ghanaians there is adequate generating capacity to meet demand in the country. All relevant stakeholders in the power sector value chain will also continue to work to ensure consistency of supply to Ghanaians. Now, the Institute of Energy Security, IES, however, feels Gridco's explanation is not enough. They insist the increasing levels of transmission losses in recent times is due to evident liquidity challenges. And I'll share that statement with you as well in a bit. So there we have it. They issued the statement today. It says the Institute for Energy Security has noted with concern the increasing rate at which Ghana's transmission grid collapses, resulting in several interruptions in power supply to homes, businesses, and other places. More worrying is how the interruptions have heightened since the beginning of this year and the kind of explanations put forward. It will be recalled that the power supply cuts on Wednesday, February 27, and Sunday, March 3, were attributed to gas supply challenges from the offshore fields in the West Africa Gas Pipeline Company, WAPCO, respectively. We are, however, yet to understand the full extent of factors that accounted for the total blackout experienced on Sunday, March 7. Aside these major power supply cuts, there have been several reports of power outages in parts of the country. And it goes on to reiterate the Gridco explanation, but as it continues, checks conducted by IES indicates that the tripping of the Prestia to Obuasi line occurred at 13:46 GMT, causing voltages in the middle belt to collapse. Under such a circumstance, operators on site are required to act swiftly and salvage a total shutdown by taking some customers off the grid to prevent a cascading trip of connected transmission lines at 14:10 GMT. And it goes on in the end, says, while calling for accountability from the GridCo, the IES wished to state that it sympathizes with the operator, knowing well that cash flow challenges due to delayed payments of receivables is having a toll on the operations of the company, and concludes by saying until the financial, technical and commercial issues of the power companies are dealt with, the Ghanaian cannot be assured of consistent and reliable power supply, even though current plant available capacity exceeds current system peak demand. Meanwhile, former Director of Public Affairs at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PRC, Nanea Gentia, is charging government to come clean on the country's current power situation. She spoke on Prime Morning.
I don't think it's very pleasant. Yeah. Especially you be home and the light just goes off. Nobody tells you anything. Or what you have to do is maybe call, because I have been there before. I know whoever is in the area, I call what's going on. And it's very consistent. And I think that some form of communication should be going out there. We deserve to know. We deserve to know what is going on. What is a system collapse is not something out, which is, I mean, I want to say it's not out of the ordinary. Anything could happen. It is a system. That's what I used to say before. It is a system. And that is why it's called a system collapse. The good thing is that there was a gradual restoration of power. But if you are having challenges, you should let us know. For instance, in Kumasi, when I went to Kumasi to spend time, all of us were there to bury my dad. You'll be there and the light will be off. 3-4 hours, nobody is telling you anything. So if there are challenges, let us know. If we have to increase tariffs, we have to increase tariffs. Do you get me? This idea of we are reducing tariffs, this free, that free, it is not free. Electricity is not free. The generation of electricity is very expensive. And if we have to increase tariffs, we have to increase tariffs. Make sure we do what we have to do and increase it so that we get power.
Do you think that will be the solution, given
I don't know what
you've observed?
I don't know what is going on with the system, but if we have to increase, we have to increase. Because with COVID and the way the economy has become, if we are going to add load shedding or lack of electricity that grinds the engine of growth in this country, then we are in trouble. If we need to do it, we have to do it.
So you believe governments must take a bold decision about the rectification of this problem?
Yeah, I think that there should be, because you see, you can't mix the two. COVID has become something else. Collapse. I went to Holiday Inn and I was sad. The place is like a cemetery. Because people are not eating there anymore. You have to take out food and all that. COVID has wreaked havoc. So we should make sure, because you see, if the electricity situation gets out of hand, then you are finished. You are finished. And I'm saying that electricity is not cheap. Power is not cheap.
We're taking a break here on JoyNews Prime, but still ahead in the bulletin, International Women's Day celebrations have taken place here in Ghana. We'll bring you excerpts of that. And then the feminine accessory, which some men find so irresistible on women, they say it is to die for, literally.
If a lady have beads around his hips, and it makes her so nice and attractive. The way I like the beads, I would say almost half of my pay I used to buy beads.
Stay tuned in. We'll be back with you in a bit. Don't always wait for opportunities. Create them and build on them. That's what women leaders are urging other women to desire as the world celebrates International Women's Day today on the theme, Choose to Challenge. The women who gathered at the International Conference Center to commemorate the day agreed challenging themselves as well as taking care of themselves are some of the ways they can adequately prepare for opportunities that will eventually help them give off their best in every endeavor. Hannah Dami was there for JoyNews.
Celebrating the day on the theme, Choose to Challenge, women from various fields gathered to share knowledge, experiences, and achievements. IBN Regional Lead Angela Chiramantin-Jimo highlighted the difficulties everyone encounters, especially women on the journey to success.
Having a dream is not just enough. you need to have the wow factor as a woman. And what is the wow factor? W-O-W. The first W is work hard, work smart, be diligent, be persistent, relentlessly reinvent yourself. The O is for opportunities. And sometimes the opportunities may not even be there, but what do? You create those opportunities. The last letter, W, is wellness. I challenge you, women, to dream big. Because if you don't dream big, and even if you are given a seat at the table, guess what? You will make excuses why you don't belong there.
Many women have struggled to get back up, either after childbirth or some setbacks in life. These women shared how they braved such odds.
Sometimes that self-imposed, I am the one who is supposed to handle everything. You won't ask. I struggled with that guilt. But then I had to teach myself and be kind to myself and sometimes ask.
I had my challenges mapped out for me right from the get-go. One of them was the fact that when you're a beauty queen, you have two things, and there's always a clear balance in the middle line. You've got 50% who know that you probably bring something to the table, and the 50% who have their assumptions about what it is that you have that you can do. So you've got to fight that. And
wellness is about making sure that I, as the person, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, that I am nourishing my best physically, spiritually, so that I can pour out to my children, to my husband, to my society, in my workplace, that I can pour out the best of myself.
Edna and Anna, who were at the conference, told me how this year's theme will impact them.
We are going to spread our tentacles, not just focusing on how to rub shoulders with the men, but how to impact the immediate women or the young ones that are coming after us.
What is going to stay with me is staying well and making sure that I remember that I also do exist. As much as I give of myself to everybody, I also have to learn to also take care of me.
It wasn't all a women's gathering. As these men who were present reiterated their commitment to women affairs.
Yeah, break here on JoyNews Prime. Up next, we're bringing you business news. It's also about women achieving. Stay tuned in. Now, in business, have you ever imagined resigning from a white-collar job within the first 3 years to venture into self-employment? 35-year-old Nana Poma Antipem did just that. The graduate of paramedic and emergency care didn't hesitate to get her hands dirty after resigning from a job she describes as well-paying. On the occasion of International Women's Day, JoyNews' Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports on the humble start of a 35-year-old woman and challenges encountered in her animal husbandry business at Moso in the Asante Akim South District of the Ashanti region.
My name is Nana Poma Antipem. I'm 35 years of age. I was working with National Ambulance Service as an emergency medical technician. We were at the National Ambulance Service. We did pre-hospital referrals and I was attending to emergency scenes. But for a period of 3 years, I worked with National Ambulance. But now I've quit National Ambulance Service and then I'm into piggery and then rabbitry.
Her love for animals pushed her into self-employment, and she does not see herself working for anyone anymore.
That is everybody and then the decision that the person will take. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to enter into farming. And then looking at surveying and then doing some research, I think the farming, I have to just focus my attention on the farming. And because it's a labor intensive, I don't have to add up so many things to disrupt me. That is the reason why I decided to quit and I have time for this job that I'm doing.
She plans to create opportunities for others. Nana Puma bought 2 pigs at 500 cedis each to start her business. She later added 8 at a cost of 6,150 cedis, and they grew to multiply.
Actually, I started with only 2 pigs. And then later there was this NEP, the National Entrepreneurship and Innovative Plan project, which we took part, and then well being so we had some fun from there, and then we extended it. Now I have about 76 pigs, which an unfortunate incident happened. That is why I've landed up to this number.
Her initial challenge was how she would survive, having risked quitting her job to start farming with the knowledge that it will take months before she earns any money.
I shouldn't get less than 100,000 cedis on this job that I'm doing in the next 1 year. And the plan is to have a processing plant too. As you can see, the pens were to be 40 pens. Actually, the animals, they weren't here at first. I rented the place, they were there. We just moved them just this Thursday that we moved to this place.
She had 4 employees, but they have all left. It is now difficult for her to recruit.
They were 4, but now they are not here because you won't get permanent people to work for you here. Maybe unless it takes some time. So we are relying on the GHS students who had completed, and they too, they had to further their studies, and they've left. I pay them. But as I said, this work that I'm doing, even if you listen to people, you will not do it.
In January 2020, 87 of her pigs and some sheep, totaling about 100, were poisoned. But Nana is determined to run a successful farm.
Last year, my animals were poisoned, and then I had to lose about 87 pigs and then 93 rabbits. That is the reason why I have this number now. But looking at things, I know that though I was hurt by the death of my animals, but I didn't regret it, because I know what I'm up to, and I know what will come. There was nothing like regretting. Though it hurt me, I called the agric officer here, and then they came, they took some samples to Kumasi, and they saw that it was food poisoning.
She is challenging young graduates not to search for white-collar jobs only, but venture into agriculture.
Being a graduate doesn't mean you cannot farm. Maybe it's the person's mentality that is hurting the person. You have to do something, work. When the Almighty God created us, it was farming that we were doing, our forefathers were doing. But I think those who are afraid to also venture into that farming sector is due to funds. But whatever decision that you take, if you persevere, your dreams will come true. Yes. So they shouldn't say they are graduates, so they are not farming. They should try and farm. Because you farm, if you cannot enter into animal farming, there are a lot of farming sectors. You can enter into vegetables, crops, a whole lot. I had last 2 years, I cultivated some maize. Last year too, this place, some maize too. This year too, I've started some farms at that side. I'm still working, trying to achieve something. So farming is good.
A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
So to all the women out there, like Nana Poma and Tipim, who are striving, we urge you to soldier on. Wilma Africa, producers of fried oil, has launched a wellness campaign dubbed You Deserve to Be Well, to encourage women especially to take very good care of themselves in their quest to get everything right in their homes and careers. Speaking to JoyNews on the sidelines of the Women's Summit to commemorate International Women's Day, brand lead food category at Wilma Africa, Dinah Eduasari, explained women work so hard that they forget to take good care of themselves, resulting in ill health and inability to work effectively. She noted the campaign will seek to ensure such women stay healthy and productive.
So this is just a platform that we use to launch that new thing, which is You Deserve to Be Well from Frital. We believe that in as much as we are pushing for more roles for women, we are pushing women to challenge themselves to do more. Their wellness is very important to their success. So you can't challenge a woman to take up big roles when her wellness is in question. So Frital is just coming in to support that woman that is being challenged, that woman that is being asked to take more roles, to do more, to dream, to achieve. That in doing all these, you need a good balance. You need to be well to do well. So that's how Frital comes in, just to support that woman that everybody is urging, is pushing on. So simply that, to make sure that you don't lose out on your wellness, even as you are pursuing great heights.
We're taking a break here on JoyNews Prime. We'll bring you sports next.
Happy International Women's Day, and thank you for staying with us on Joy News. As part of activities marking the day, Women in Sports Network Ghana has today organized a seminar to build the capacity of young ladies in sport. The event happened at the Accra Sports Stadium, and in an interview with Joy Sports Executive Director Philippina Frimpong underscored the importance of the one-day capacity seminar.
We're looking at changing the face of the sports industry. A lot of the time, attention is focused on competition. We don't do preparation. We need to prepare athletes from when they are young to learn all of these things before they get to the very top. And so we've decided that at WISNET, Women in Sports Network, we are going to focus our attention on that aspect. So that is why we have brought the Enlighten series. These are areas that we think girls coming up in the industry should be educated in. So by the time they get to the top, they know a lot of these things. So apart from the sexual harassment, we want to teach them skills acquisition. We want to teach them entrepreneurial skills. We want them to know about how to invest their monies as well. So we have decided that we're going to, throughout the year, we're going to have these seminars, and this is just the first one. It is good for them to have knowledge of it, to be able to identify it. And that is what we've done here. Now, the Women's Commission of the Ghana Olympic Committee is looking at setting up a policy and setting up a committee that will handle that aspect. Now, that committee, the commission has a policewoman, it has a prisons woman. So all of these security services people are there. And then as WISNET, we are going to be liaising between the sports men, women and girls and the commission.
The National Under-20 team, the Black Satellites, are expected to present the trophy they've just won to President Akufo-Addo following their arrival yesterday at the Air Force Base in Accra. The Satellites defeated Uganda 2-0 to lift the African crown for a fourth time. I met the team on arrival on Sunday. The Air Force Base saw government officials led by the sports minister, GFA officials led by the vice president, and also a small group of supporters to receive the victorious satellites. The team was quickly whisked to a conference room at the Air Force Base where the sports minister welcomed them officially back to Ghana.
3 weeks ago, you left this country empty-handed. And you are here today with us with gold medals and a trophy. You couldn't have given us any better independence gift than this. This is a befitting independence anniversary gift that you are giving to His Excellency the President of the Republic and the good people of this our great country. Like the President said, the whole country is proud of you. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is so proud and excited for what you have done for this our great country. And like he said, he can't wait to receive you at the seat of government, the Jubilee House.
The chairman of the Satellites Management Committee is Randy Abe, and he also had a few words to say.
It was not an easy task, and I will spare everybody else the details. I mean, the details will be in our reports to the respective authorities. But the road was bumpy, but we expected it because to become champions is like baking bread. You need to go through the process, and you have to go through heat and fire to be able to be well baked. And we went through that, through our group stages, through the knockout stage, and to the final held yesterday. And to the glory of God, we emerged victorious.
When it got to the turn of Coach Karim Zito, he was quick to remind everyone that he did not get support because of his links with Ketu Kraku, but insist that he was the best man for the job because of his capability.
Initially, you people didn't have confidence in us. Even me, when I was asked to take them, many of you criticized me, thinking because the chairman is my boss, so the president is my boss, that was why. No. And it also helped me. I thank you people who did that. Energized me to work to tell you that he gave me the job based on my ability and capability as a coach.
All in all, it was a small but intimate affair at the Air Force Base. For this team that has proved critics wrong, and we understand that they will later meet the President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And that's it for sports. Thank you very much for your time. The news continues now.
All right, time now for showbiz, and Becky Bex is here. Hello, Bex.
Hello to you.
All right, I can see you can slay with your mask.
Oh yeah. It's International Women's Day today. Okay. Of course, the reason why.
Happy International Women's Day.
Oh, thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day to your wife and your mom for, taking care of you for us. And across the world, we've been celebrating women, and this is how for the leading women at JoyNews here, this is how we decided to celebrate them. Araba Kumsin right there. Oh, Bernice is also part of our leading lady.
And they are all looking so beautiful.
Yes, and to all the other women on our other platforms, Adom, Hit FM, Joy Prime, Happy International Women's Day.
And of course, and I'm also celebrating you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know why they didn't add me to this video.
But it's because you're anchoring, okay? So you're here, so yeah, I'm celebrating you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's talk about Nsoroma, Adom TV's Nsoroma. We've gotten a winner. I know that we haven't really spoken about it here a lot, but here are highlights of the season finale.
Abusia, 10th position, Yakika Ebomuno, a call Emma Gamado Somwa Isaac. Why Enna for second position? Janice One after the other. One after the other. Obinium, the ultimate winner for Ensroma Season 3 goes to Richmond Bwesiaku Senior and on that day, everybody go suja, and on that day, everybody go suja, opinge, them go opinge, so opinge, them go opinge for you, opinge, so opinge, them go opinge for you. Congratulations to our brand here for winning the Season 3 of Doom TV's Unsoma.
Right.
Easy. Let's wrap up with Coming to America. So the match has been. First of all, those of you who haven't seen the movie, well, it's out. But something that we've noticed is that we realized that the representation of African music.
Okay. In the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So Davido, Tiwa Savage, and Mikasa from South Africa. Here's a report by Mapito Sibidi.
So, yeah, about the Coming to America movie, the other thing we should be talking about is how a lot of people in Ghana actually got to watch it when it's not actually supposed to be shown.
Well, people have, Daniel told me that he watched it on Prime.
That's not what I'm talking about.
They downloaded it. They did?
No, apparently a TV station in
You're
in
kidding
Ghana,
me?
yeah, was showing it at the same time.
Wow, don't say it out loud. Because they might.
I won't.
They might report that.
All right. Thank you very much for bringing us Showbiz, Becky.
Anytime.
That'll be all for those of you watching on Joy Prime. But there's more news on the JoyNews channel. Around 300,000 people have been vaccinated against COVID-19 barely a week after the process started in Ghana. Government has set an ambitious plan to vaccinate at least 20 million people this year. Information Minister Kujopon Nkrumah told journalists after a retreat between the president and his new ministers at Peduase on Monday that government is on course to achieve that.
After about a week, or at the end of the first week, let me say, at the end of the first week, we have vaccinated about 300,000 people here in Ghana. Out of the initial target of about 570,000, we have vaccinated about 300,000 people, and that's quite significant. In fact, if you look at it that way, then it's a little over 50%. If you look at the 570,000 as a target, it's a little over 50%. If you look at the full 600,000, then that's about half of it. We're doing this in 43 districts, and the distribution mechanism has included the use of drones to deliver vaccines to some parts of the country. And I think that's very significant. You recall when we started making investments in the drone infrastructure, there was a lot of criticism about why it didn't make sense, it wasn't a good idea. But today, right before our very eyes, we are seeing the benefit of some of this infrastructure that was put in place. We're expecting about 2 million extra doses between now and the end of May. We're expecting about 2 million extra doses that are coming in. Also, a decision has been made, and I think this is something that colleagues will be pleased if you highlight. A decision has been made to make special allocation for all health workers across the country. All health workers across the country, to make special allocation out of the about 100,000 extra we have received, to make special allocation for all health workers across the country. So despite the fact that the vaccination is currently going on in 43 districts, we're about to roll out a sub-program to vaccinate all health workers across the country out of the about 100,000 extra that we have received. And additionally, we're investing in purchasing cold chain equipment that will allow us to get some of the other vaccines, the ones that require minus 20 degrees, minus 70 degrees storage. And we are also rolling out a technology platform that allows for appointments and scheduling for persons who qualify and need to take their vaccines. And this is locally developed technology platform.
He added government also has a plan to revive the economy, which has been badly affected by the pandemic.
Now, a key thread that you'll find in both is a strong focus on the post-COVID recovery program aimed at enabling the Ghanaian economy to return to its previous successes. This post-COVID recovery program is a key pillar on which the Akufo-Addo administration's second-term agenda is hinged. It is priority because without it, there's little foundation on which we can build the transformation agenda that we all desire. As I mentioned earlier, the shocks that COVID has dealt to the Ghanaian economy have been so severe that attention needs to be paid to a quick recovery of the macroeconomic situation as well as the fiscal situation. So you'll notice that a lot of the work coming through this week will be, among other things, on this very strong post-COVID recovery program. Cabinet has approved this program aimed at a quick recovery of the economy, and it will find full expression in the State of the Nation address and the 2021 budget. So you can look forward to that on Tuesday and on Friday. And the President expects full adherence to this program to enable the administration rebuild and complete its transformation agenda.
Now, the people of the Upper West region are asking President Akufo-Addo to make good promises he made to them in the run-up to the 2020 election. They cite the completion of the Wa-Hang-Tumu highways to link the region to the Upper East by tarred road, the elevation of the Wa municipality to a metropolis with new districts, and the construction of 3 district hospitals for Wa East, Lambose, and Dafiama Buse Esa. As the president prepares to deliver the State of the Nation address to Parliament, they say they are hopeful he will walk the talk. Correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
This deplorable, bumpy and rice-muddy pitch look alike Wa-Hang-Tumu highway has been on the drawing board of all governments of the Fourth Republic. Yet, none of them has been able to complete the over 175 kilometers highway. Their best has been dividing it into several lots and executing in piecemeal and at a snail's pace with no exact completion date. As a result of that, the highway is now part of the list of projects codenamed by the people as chain of unfulfilled promises by politicians. The lot has now fallen on President Akufo-Addo, who won a second term and at the helm of affairs. He promised to fix the highway and other critical roads in the region should he get a second bite of the pie at the presidency.
I'm happy to say that the Wa-Tumu, Jirapa, Wa-Bulinga, Dorimu, Geshao, Jirapa are all parts of the program of the roads minister who is here and has asked me to assure the president that they are very much part of his program for critical attention this year. And obviously, if they are not all finished, God willing, with 4 more for Nana, they will be finished very soon.
He has surely won, and the people want him to walk his talk.
As for the road from Wa to Tumu, it's terrible. So as a citizen of Tumu, I will be very grateful if the president can work on the road network for us, because the road is no good. So business there is not equally good, and a lot of things are getting bad there. So I'll be very grateful if he can do something about the road.
It has been on the drawing board for long. As for the road, especially from Upper West to Upper East, the Tumu through to Tumu to Bolga, it has been there for very long. Government come, they make efforts to do it, but at the end of the day, it becomes back to where it is. So we are pleading with him. That's a major road linking this one to another region. So we are pleading with them to take a look at it and do something very important about it. It's very urgent.
There is also the promise of creation of new districts and elevation of Wa to a metropolitan status which was on the wish list of chiefs and people of the region. The president quickly agreed hook, line, and sinker in his interaction with the chiefs and people of Mangwe.
And let me assure you that whatever be the case, even if it is not done before December, in the next government of Akufo-Addo, the district matter will be addressed so that you can also feel comfortable.
What do you have for the president?
I think that would be a very good idea. If it becomes a metropolitan, it will increase jobs. There will be more creation of jobs in the region because more people will get to know the region more.
That's it. If you look at some of our districts, they are more bigger, like West district and then West East. If you look at it, it's just a vast distance. The people, they suffer traveling to the district capital for, maybe let's assume, teachers for their distance. They suffer a lot. Look at people from Gorpia here will travel to Fancy, and then people from just here will travel to Wichao. You see that we are in a big trouble, so we expect him to create districts that will enable us to do our administrative work very easy.
Now, President Akufo-Addo is on Tuesday expected to present his first State of the Nation address of his second term. The presentation will, however, not be done in the chamber, has always been the practice. Director of Public Affairs at Parliament, Kate Addo, explains the measure has become necessary as they adhere to COVID-19 protocols in Parliament. She also offered reasons why the presentation has been shifted from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, there is something about waist beads which most men find really fascinating. One of the most iconic accessories of feminine sexuality in Ghana, they're mostly tiny pebbles with holes in them held together by a cord that ends up around the waist and often concealed by the woman's garments. It's by far one of the most striking codes in native Ghanaian culture. As part of the Ghana Month series, Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong explores this accessory, which some men are willing to give up so much just to play with.
As part of Ghana Month's campaign to project Ghana's rich and indigenous products, we are here at the Kumasi Central Market, specifically the Beads Hub, to find out the sale and trend of waist beads. The use of waist beads dates back to the 15th century. Historians say beads were popular among the Krobos, Ashantis, Gadangmes and others. Alhaji Ibrahim tells how waist beads have evolved over the years. According to him, people are now drawn to beads with brighter colors compared to previous years. A trader at the Roman Hill is thrilled at how men rush to buy waist beads lately. To add a touch of class to her trade, Vera Oben of Taltoma, the African lingerie, has added value in packaging her waist beads. She adds drops of fragrances on the beads to give a pleasant smell.
When I went to town, I saw that the beads were dirty, and I didn't like that. Like the threads that were used were dirty. So, in my quest to find something that would just keep that problem, I ended up sticking it, and it was nice. And also, it's a scented. We add fragrance to our beads.
Traders at the Beads Hub in Kumasi took us through special and popular names for some beads.
Yefrebi Oirepa, Yefrebi Sanchek, Yefrebi Asolite, Edrana Joeso, and our Dominican Bemau, and Yefrebi Subieja.
But what is the attraction of men to waist beads?
If a lady have beads around his hips, and it makes her so nice and attractive. The way I like the beads, I would say almost half of my pay I used to buy bees for ladies.
Obadi Tomambo was the Asenia Wako Sebema no.
Tomandia do my adreno, a manuko high temper.
Bemano Oshana o change Tomana. A man by it is a spirit bino. And to the moment I will never bossono. Not to say Bibiaso.
Who don't have one Nijepa, Wangas or Nijikama to Toma de because maybe Thomas in Madrian Amidi. Young one of Metato Parmitriton, Miam to the Gumbotum.
Toma de who are not Kiabinabo Basso. Eternal Pesacamo Bonabotina, Ubiabo about Satana, or Quano Tomana Bontusade, Wabo Betri and Pesa.
So you have seen it all. I know you've heard it all. The colors, the varieties, the types. Well, from the survey we conducted, we found out that 20% of men walk to the bead shop with their wives and purchase beads for them. So what are you waiting for? Are you getting some for your wife, your side chick, your girlfriend, or whoever? Reporting for JoyNews, Mona Lisa Frempon, Kumasi.
Right, on to our next story. On International Women's Day, JoyNews assisting editor and anchor Emefa Pao was host of the Drive Time show on Joy 99.7 FM. Emefa, who is known mainly for her eloquent news presentations and tough line of questioning on our news analysis program on Radio Newsnight every weekday, treated our radio audience to good music and some very refreshing conversations.
Hello, Emefa is fine. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I didn't have to host the news or anything like that. It was a topsy-turvy of a sort, and I hosted the Drive Time on Joy. This is a true definition of the theme for the day, or the hashtag that we're all using, choose to challenge. And I was challenged. I did the Drive Time on Joy. I survived it, and it was fun, at least from the messages that we got on the console and the calls that we received. It was so much fun. The day in itself, beyond just the topsy-turvies and what we can do as women, once the theme, or we've been talking about choosing to challenge each other, this is not, a challenge to the opposite sex, for instance. It's to challenge ourselves as women, to strive to be better at what we do. It's not always about wanting to be at par with the opposite sex, but of course, the equality drive, we're challenging that we can get that equality that we deserve. Happy International Women's Day to all of you.
Happy International Women's Day to all of you, women as well. We're taking a break. We're bringing you business, more business. Stay tuned in. Now, Cabinet is giving its blessing to the various policy measures captured in the 2021 budget. This was after it met over the weekend to carefully scrutinize the financial and policy statement of the government for this year. But what are some of these policy measures that have been okayed ahead of the presentation next Friday? George Jaffe has the details.
The meeting afforded the team at the Finance Ministry working on the budget to brief Cabinet on the various policy measures contained in the budget. This is expected to ensure that whatever that is presented come next Friday will have the full support of Cabinet and the whole government. It is obvious said that while the Finance Minister and the team at the Finance Ministry will be purely looking at how to raise the required funds to finance government's operations, the Cabinet members, including the President, will be looking at the political economy of the budget statement and carefully review how the policy measures will impact on the broader social life and governance of the country. Some of the proposals that have been approved include some additional fiscal measures that would help finance the rising deficit, looking at how the pandemic-related expenditure last year contributed to this. It also looks like Cabinet agrees with the team of the Finance Ministry about how government may not be in a strong financial position this year to continue with those freebies extended during the height of the coronavirus for last year. Therefore, the budget may be reviewing some of these measures that will be announced in the presentation come next Friday. And who is going to present the budget statement? Well, describe it as too close to call, and you might not be wrong. As some additional names are being considered or proposed to the press, including what was put out originally. Now, this includes the Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Trade Minister Alan Chermanting, and leader of the Majority Caucus in Parliament, Chairman Sabunsu. And also, let us not rule out the President's representative at the Finance Ministry, Charles Dubois. Joy Business can confirm that the leader of the Majority Caucus in Parliament was indeed in the budget deliberation meeting that worked on the presentation yesterday. It looks like Finance Minister designate Ken Ofori-Atta will not present the budget statement come next Friday, as there were attempts for him to come in, get a waiver, and present the statement to Parliament. Well, what Joy Business is learning is that there will be some surprises in the 2021 budget presentation. So maybe let's keep our fingers crossed.
Now, PZ Cousins, producers of Camel Antiseptic, has launched its third edition of the Camel Buy and Fly promotion. This follows the success chalked since its inception 2 years ago. The promo, expected to last 12 weeks, will have a unique winner every week for an all-expense-paid trip for two to Dubai in September. Category Marketing Manager Personal Care at PZ Cousins Ghana, Marianne Boateng, tells Joy Business the promo is aimed at rewarding loyal customers. Tema correspondent Kwame Anka has the rest of the story.
Being a household name for decades, Camel is the only antiseptic liquid endorsed by the Ghana Medical Association. Aside physical well-being, PZ Cousins is taking care of consumers' mental well-being through the Camel Buy and Fly promo. Our winners will have a month's supply of the Camel Antiseptic, Carex hand wash and sanitizers, as well as the Camel soap. But how do consumers participate in the promotion? Category Marketing Manager, Personal Care at PZ Cousins Ghana, Marianne Boateng walks us through.
Participation in this promo is very simple. All you have to do is to buy a Camel Antiseptic liquid. It could be any size, the big size, the small size, the medium size. You would see a scratch panel on the antiseptic liquid, on the bottle. You scratch this panel to reveal a code and text that code to 1393 free of charge across all networks. And that's all it is. Instantly, you receive a message and you would win airtime or a product hamper. But every single week from now till the end of the promo for 12 weeks, every single week, we will select one lucky winner to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two to Dubai.
According to Marianne Boateng, all the necessary COVID-19 safety protocols are in place for lucky winners who will be having fun in Dubai.
The extra measure that we are also providing is health insurance in Dubai. So what we are doing is providing them the ultimate care that they can ever have. We are paying, apart from the COVID safety protocols that we are taking care of, we are also going to be taking care of your accommodation in a 5-star hotel, all tours, including the desert safari, including a shopping trip at the Dubai Mall. We'll be providing you breakfast, lunch, dinner, all catered for, all expenses, including shopping money. You can't get it any better than this. So your flights, your accommodation in the top class 5-star hotel, as well as your food, and in addition, we are giving you shopping money.
Meanwhile, Marianne Boateng shares how accessible the Camel product is.
Camel Antiseptic is our #1 antiseptic liquid in Ghana, so it can be found all across the nation. It can be found in supermarkets, in malls, shopping malls. It can even be found in the open markets, in Makola, in Medina markets, and tabletop shops all over the country, including your neighborhood shops like your corner shop across the road from your house. So it's easily accessible, and especially in these times where we recognize the need for antiseptic liquids. It can be more of our retailers across the country are stocking up on it. So it's easily found across all channels in Ghana.
Visit the company's Facebook and Instagram pages at Camel Now from Carex for more information. Kwame Yankes reports for Joy Business.
And that'll be all for the bulletin for this evening.